Hi, welcome to Two Old Goats and Some Chicks Homestead. I just wanted to bring you along today and let you know that one of our viewers has sent me some walking onions, and I'm going to be planting those today. So I just wanted to bring you along and show you how I plant those. And we're just going to plant it in a pool, an old pool that we use for the ducks, and then they just kind of outgrew it. So I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to do and the steps we're going to take to build this the soil in the pool, so that it'll be hopefully able to grow some nice walking onions. So let's get to that. So here's the pool. Just a pool. I've been using it to sift my compost in. It's got some cracks in it. This is one of the reasons why we're not using it any longer for the ducks. But in order for us to use it for soil, I'll have to drill some holes. So I have the drill here, and it's just a cheap drill, nothing fancy. But we're going to drill some holes. I'm going to use the drill bit Dave left in there. I don't know what size it is. It looks to be about a 1/4 inch drill bit. So we're going to drill holes in this, and then we'll fill it with some potting soil and not potting soil, but some compost, peat moss, and perlite. Our compost has quite a bit of sand in it already, so we're not going to add any more sand unless we have to, but I don't think we're going to have to. So we're going to first drill holes in the bottom. So I've decided to put it in the front of the garden. This over here is where we have the gate now. The whole thing opens up, but there's our gate right there I'm intending to put up. A friend of ours found it at the recycle center, and they brought it home and thought of me. So great, I have a perfect use for it. We can put it right here. So but anyways, this is where we've decided to put, or I've decided to put the walking onions that were given to us. And I drilled the holes, and then I put a little bit of straw in the bottom to kind of help hold some moisture in there. And of course, it's draining really good. I don't know if you can see how well it's draining, but it's draining nicely. So but I wanted to show you what we're doing, the steps that we're taking, and then we're going to be mixing compost and peat moss and perlite and putting in here, and I'll give you all the ratios too. I filled the wheelbarrow 1/3 of the way full of the compost, and then there's about 1/4 of it with the peat moss, and then just a few handfuls of the perlite. So I'm going to mix it up in the wheelbarrow because I don't want to mess up the straw on the bottom of the pool. So we're just going to mix this in real good. I'll be glad when we get our water system built. It's one of the things we're working to save for. Well, if I quit dumping it on the ground. So just mix until it's completely mixed in. That's all I'm doing. It's not perfect at it. Alright, so and I'm just going to fill the buckets. That was not cool. That's the funny moments that happens.
What happened?
It poofed in my face. Looks like we'll need one more. I'm using a half of one. Okay, so that's what the bed looks like. I'm going to go get the onions and I'll show you how I'm planting them. Okay, so we've got it filled, the pool filled, and I'm going to add bone meal for the phosphate. Root vegetables need phosphate, so we're going to use bone meal for the phosphate, hoping that the compost will provide enough of the nitrogen necessary to grow these, because we did use a lot of compost. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it on. Generously.
Kind of looks like you colored it with a white color ground.
Yeah, it's kind of a cream color. It's a kind of a cream color. But it provides phosphate to the plants, and root vegetables need phosphate. So I just kind of sprinkle it across the top, and now I'm going to mix it in so it's not right on the top. Carefully, because it's very dusty. Try not to breathe it in. Alright, so I think that that'll do us. A couple of places there that she'll need mixed in. So I think that that'll be okay. So, alright. Wanted to show you what the walking onions look like. They grow up and cluster at the top, and then they fall over, and then they just take off and grow another plant. So, wanted to show you that. I'm just going to drop them down like they would be dropped down if they're normally growing. So we're just going to place them down. There's one that's broke. Already fell in. She was very generous with the amount that she sent. So we're not going to do anything special because this is the way they grow. So I'm kind of hoping that if I just do them the way they would grow normally, they will take off and do nicely. And they're just trimming them up a little bit so they're not tangled in each other. And I did save a few to plant a different way, just to see the difference in the way they're planted. So I think I'm going to let that be good enough. We'll water them in. This is what I saved to plant a different way. So, alright. So we're just watering it in right now. We're going to wrap this up, water it in real good, and keep our fingers crossed. So until next time, happy homesteading.